Apotheosis materials can be very hard to obtain, especially in older mods 9. The most sought after material is the Godforged Pearl, which allows you to reforge your weapons to the mythical level or even create perfect gems. Today, I will show you my Apotheosis Gear farm. It not only farms Endermen, but also salvages all of their drops. On average, you can obtain over 100 Godforged Pearls, 100 Netherite ingots and 120 levels per minute. If you want to learn how to build this yourself, keep watching. First off, about the preparation. So why are we in the end? Main reason for that is space. Because as you can see over here, the first mob farm I built, the one I showed you, is in the middle of nowhere. And the reason for that is this mob farm is a AFK farm, so we are really dependent on the normal natural spawning criteria of Minecraft. And the biggest one of this is mobs can spawn in an area of 128 blocks around the player, which in this case would be this radius. I didn't fill it fully out, but it would be kind of a circle in this size. Now to the second reason, only in the end you will get the highest rate of mythical equipment. Another place would be the other, which is the latest dimension of Oldemortium. However, there we have the problem of space. Everything is built through with a lot of caves inside of them, so it's really hard to build a natural spawner as we did over there. So that's the reason why we are in the end. You should also prepare a couple of items to make your life easier. The first one is going to be night vision goggles. Those are going to give you a lot more visibility on what you're building. Next up, we have the Infinity Wand and the Angel Wand core. Both of them are going to be necessary if we are going to place our first slab in the middle of the void. For that, we first need to combine those two inside of a crafting table, and then we can now sneak, right click, and going to change this one to Angel Core. The next item is going to be some kind of slab, and I decided to use the endstone brick slab. I would definitely recommend you to bring more than just one. You're also going to need a mega torch, which is going to prevent the mobs from spawning while you're building, and you're going to need a building gadget, or it's definitely highly recommended at least. Now that we are prepared, we can make ourselves towards an empty area. In the end, it might be good to just fly until you can't see the island anymore. Okay, and I think we are at a good spot. Now that we are far enough away, we can place our first block of the platform. As I mentioned before, you're going to need the builder's wand, and then we're going to fall down to a good level, which should be roughly here. As you can see in the right corner, we can only go as low as this. So now if I take away this and get myself the brick, the lowest we can build is this block, right? So this is the kind of the height we want to have. However, since this is the full block, we want to have it at this level. So this is going to be our first starting block. To expand our platform, we're going to use the building gadget. I will quickly give you an introduction, especially the keybinds and the controls can be really problematic with this one. For that, quickly go into categories, pick keybinds, then categories, type in gadget. And then you're going to have those 5 options. The two important ones are the settings menu and the undo. For those, please pick some kind of key which is not set yet. When you have done that, you can go back to the game. And if you have your gadget in your hand, you can press the key you decided for the settings menu, and it should look something like this. You have a couple of different placement options, like how is it going to place the blocks. And the one we're going to use mainly will be horizontal wall and later also the surface. However, for now, pick the horizontal wall, select or point towards the bottom platform, right click, and then it's going to place your slabs. For this, you are going to need the resources unless you are in creative mode. So make sure that you have definitely enough slabs by hand. However, one thing before you start moving away from your center, place your mega torch right in the center. The reason for that is, first off, it's going to prevent all the endermen spawning while we are building the whole platform. And secondly, we need to know where the center is, since later on we're going to remove this part, so make sure just to place the torch. From here on out, we're going to expand our platform. We're keeping the same settings, meaning horizontal wall and 15 range. And we're going to go into the corners, and then we're going to right click each of them. With that, our platform now looks something like that. We're going to do actually a second round right afterwards, again into each of the corners, And now we're going to fill the missing pieces in the center. And now we're already pretty close. We're now at 43 times 43. And now we need actually 5 more blocks, meaning we're going to reduce our range to 10. And then we're going to go in whatever corner. And here you can actually do something simple. You can just like fly and keep pressing the button until you're at the edge. And then we're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides. Okay, perfect. And now we have our full size platform. At the end, it should be 53 by 53. In total, you're going to need 2,809 slabs if you want to build this platform, which equals roughly 44 stacks. Now we're going to place our mob grinders. First off, you should move your torch. Make sure that you first place a second torch and then destroy the first one. If you're not doing this, there will be instantly like hundreds of endermen on the edges. And then we're going to open up a 3x3 area right in the center. Here we're going to place on the edges 8 cables. In my case, I'm going to use the energy pipes, and in the center you're going to put some kind of energy source. For me, I'm just going to use a creative mode energy cell. One I can definitely recommend you to use is the flux network setup. So you would need to place a flux point in the center, and this one would be the energy provider. If you're using the pipes as I do, you have to make sure that you get your wrench and then sneak right click on one of the exits of the pipes, and then you should add some kind of pipe upgrade. For my case, I'm now going to add the ultimate pipe upgrade, which is going to make energy be transmitted more quickly. For the placement, we're going to place 2 mob crushers into each direction. So at the end, it should look something like this. In each of those mob crushers, we're going to put 1 range upgrade, tier 2 processing, efficiency tier 2, and a speed tier 2. So in each of them, we're going to put 1 of them. So it should look like something like this. Now we're going to place our universal pipes around the mob crushers. It's important that the pipes you pick can both take fluid and items at the same time. So in this case, I would recommend you to use the universal pipes from the pipes mod. And then now you're going to sneak right click, and here you can add your pipe upgrade. You do the same thing for each of the mob crushers. From here, we're going to place 1 netherite chest right in the middle. This is a chest from sophisticated storage, and the reason for that is we have to add a filter inside of this. So for that, you should use the advanced void upgrade, and here we're going to destroy most of the basic ender items. You can already see them up here in my inventory. You have to set it to allow, and now it's going to void all of those items inside of the GUI. Okay, from here we are going to place 1 more pipe on top. Here we can then change this again to pull out the items, and we're putting in our pipe upgrade. And now on top of this, we're going to put our ender chest. Now to adjust the ender chest, you're going to need a diamond. So this one is going to change this thing now to my personal ender chest. This is especially important if you play on a server, but also just in general, it gives you a bit more control on the whole thing. And then we're going to add 1 dye, again, sneak, and then we add brown on top. So now we know this is going to be our ender chest for all the items. Additionally, you can improve the size of the ender chest. As you can see right now, the ender chest has only a space of 3x3. If you sneak and right click with an ender pearl, you can see at the bottom, it's going to increase our chest capacity. And now we have a space of 27 in total. Next to our ender chest, we're going to place another universal pipe using the wrench to disconnect the 2 of them. And then here we're going to place our ender tank. This one is going to be responsible for all the experience collection. We're going to do the same thing, right click with the diamond. And here we can actually use both a ender pearl to increase the tank capacity up to 256. And then we can also add some pistons, which are going to increase the pump of the ender tank. Lastly, we're also going to add our dye to make sure that this ender tank is ours. Now we're going to place our vector plates, and we need all of them to make a circular motion, at least in the center. We're going to place 1 vector plate, and then you're going to sneak right click on the item, and then you're going to change your building gadget to surface and increase the range to 11. So the front line needs to perfectly line up with the mob crusher, and the same thing also on the side. And now we're going to repeat the same step over here, but however, the rotation stays the same from the one you selected. So you have to place another vector plate, sneak, right click, and now it's the right one, placing our vector plates, and we're going to repeat the same thing for all 4 sides. Next up, we're going to go into the corners. We're going to select our building gadget, set it to maximum range, and then we're going to use the same direction we have in the center. So right now this is in this direction. So we select this one, go into the corner, and perfectly place our 15 by 15, which would be like this. And now we're going to repeat the same thing again for all 4 corners. As the next step for the vector plates, we're going to fill out the remaining stuff. For that, we're going to push everything to the center. I'm keep selecting the area I just had before, and then now this should look like this. So we kind of fill out this edge over there, we fill out the remaining space here, and now we're going to fill the same over here. And then we have this last part here. Here it's important that you don't do this extra step over there, like this small 1 by 2. And maybe for you to explain you why we're doing this, if we have now too many mobs in one area because of certain spawning rules, there's something like pack spawning, which means close to this one enderman there will be like 4 other endermans. That's the reason why we have the spin in the center. So we're making sure that the endermans are equally split between all the mob crushers. They are constantly have endermen in front of them to kill them the most efficiently. Quickly filling this up. You have to do this because it can happen that the enderman jump on this edge and then they don't get killed. Now I'm just going to increase our height because mobs cannot spawn in an area of 24 blocks next to you. Here you can decide if you just like build yourself up, or you can also use the building gadget, set this one to vertical column, right click on your block, and then you can also do it like this. And then we can add our slab on top. This is important because, well, we don't want to the enderman spawning. And now we have our platforms. And now we're getting right into the salvaging part. For that, we're going to first off expand our base, and then we are going to place our ender tank. To make sure that this one is the same one as the one at the bottom, we're going to use our diamond again, and then we have to put our color. On top of the ender tank, we're going to put 1 fluid pipe, and on top of that, a experience crystal from Utilics. This one is really nice because it's going to store the experience points, and you can like easily like retrieve different levels from this one. And like I think I stored 1000 levels in this thing and it was not full. So, and now we use the pipe wrench to pump out the experience points out of the tank, and then we're going to put here our pipe upgrades to make it a bit quicker. And this is already everything we have to do for the experience. And for our ender chest, we're going to do the same thing. First of our diamond, and then our dye, and now this one is the same one, which is good because you can see that especially if you upgraded the lower one, the size should be the same one as the one at the bottom. Next to this, we're going to place 2 modular routers. Then next to that, we're going to destroy 1 block, and here we're going to place our enchantment extractor. This one is going to be responsible for like all the items we get. Some of them might have enchantments on them, and we want to export the enchantments and also like save them somewhere. And the modular routers are there to move the items as fast as possible from the ender chest to our extractor and then also into our salvage system. On the backside, we're going to put a limited oak netherite barrel. So this is one of the barrels where you can only put 1 kind of item, and we are going to place a lot of books. It's really important that this one never gets empty. So I would recommend you to build some kind of automation which makes books for you and then ultimately pumps them inside of this. And then on the front, when this is open, the books are not inside. For that, we have to click on the brown area there, and then we have to set this one to pull. And as you can see, it's already filling up with books, and we are good to go. On this enchantment extractor, we are going to have 2 outputs. The first one is going to be on the right side. Here we're going to put all the enchantments. For that, we're using the Library of Alexandria. Here I can recommend my video about infusion enchanting, because this one has a almost unlimited amount of space for all the kind of enchantments you have, and you can easily combine them, and making sure that this one has also a pipe upgrade. And then the second output will be on top of this. We're making sure that this one is not connected to the modular router, making sure it pulls out the items. And on top, we're placing one oak netherite chest. For our modular routers, we're going to need 2 puller modules, in total 4 sender modules MK3. Then we're going to need 18 speed upgrades, 9 each, and then 6 step upgrades. We're going to put the puller module on the ender chest, and now we can already put 1 each in both of them. They both are automatically connected, which is really helpful. Then we're going to do the same thing with the sender module. Sneak, right click on the Enchantment Extractor. We're going to put in 1 here and 1 here. Then we're going to put another sender module on the netherite chest, and then we're putting those also in each of them, and then we're going to put our stack upgrades. However, to make sure that we only get the enchanted items inside of the Enchantment Extractor, we're going to have to use a filter. This one is the inspection filter from Modular Routers. You set it to be bigger than 0, so any kind of enchantment, which you then can put into the Enchantment Extractor. You can click here with the middle mouse button to open this, and then you can just add that in, and you can reuse this one. And you have to make sure that you set this blacklist to a whitelist. So now it's only allowing to push items to the Enchantment Extractor if the item has more than any kind of enchantment. The same thing we're going to do up here, putting that in, setting it to whitelist, and now we're good. The reason why we have 2 is actually we are producing so many items that one of them is often not fast enough. So we literally need 2 modular routers fully maxed out to deliver all the items. And now we come to the filtering system. First off, the first chest doesn't have anything. So this one is the easy start. But from here, we're going to add 1 pipe on top, which is going to pull out the items and put them into our chest up here. This one is going to have a filter in the pipe. So here, right now, inside of this, we're going to add our ultimate pipe upgrade, which allows us to have a filter mode, which is either a whitelist or a blacklist. We're going to add, here we're going to put NBT data. In this one right now, we're going to put the NBT data for each of the rarities. That means we're going to check, does this item have any kind of rarity on it, which could be common, uncommon, rare, epic, or mythic. That's the first thing we're going to put. I will put in the description below the data you have to input for each of them, and it's going to look something like this. So this is right now the version for the common, and now we're going to submit this one, and we have to repeat this for all 5 rarities. On the backside of this setup, we're going to place another pipe, and this one we're going to do actually exactly the opposite of the universal pipe. That means inside of this, we're going to put again a upgrade, and this time it's going to be a blacklist of exactly the same things. So common, uncommon, rare, epic, and mythic. So here I'm putting the chest. You could theoretically also put a trash can, but I prefer to put the chest because it's easier to like potentially debug, because you can see what's ending up in this chest, and then you can check like, hey, is it working or not? With the trash can, it can quickly happen that just everything gets deleted and you don't know what is getting deleted. To make sure that it turns into a trash can, you have to add the advanced void upgrade. Now it's deleting everything which is put inside of this chest. And if you want to debug it, you just allow it, and then you can see, okay, it's not working, something's getting put in, or something you want to keep is inside of this chest, then you know and can adjust your filters accordingly. So yeah, set this one to block, and then add in here your filters. Okay, as I said, I added now the filters to make sure rarity material goes up there, everything else gets deleted. And now we're getting to the salvaging part. For that, we're going to just place another pipe right into next to our gear chest in the middle. Going to set it to output from there, and we are going to put, which is really important, only a advanced pipe upgrade. This pipe needs to be faster than this one. The reason for that is we're going to plug here our salvaging table, and what's now going to happen, all the gear will be in this chest, and only rare netherite items will go up into this chest. Also, however, literally everything will go into this one. That means also rare netherite items. If both of them are at the same speed, this one can in many cases take over, and then you won't get any netherite. This way is kind of the safe way, because this one prevents you from overflowing with your items, because if you can't destroy the items quickly enough from this chest or like salvage them, this one is going to overfill this chest, then it's going to overfill this chest, and then this one, and then your system will be plugged up really quickly. So it's easier to just have the instant salvaging if this chest just overfills, and then we can just salvage everything. And then we're going to connect from our backside of this chest our pipes, and those are going to be connected to our salvages. Those are kind of hard to craft actually. So crimson steel, like it's from Salvaging Gear, so you're going to need crimson steel ingots, a block of diamond, obsidian, and the upgrade magnet is the one where it's going to be problematic because we have some oldemortium inside of this. So you already need to have at least some progress in the mod pack, so this is not the easiest block to craft. But right now I'm using 12 salvages. Actually, if you fully want to export salvage all the netherite, you need I think almost double the amount of this to export it. But for now I'm going to use this because it gives you enough netherite. Like if you need more netherite, just put more of the salvages. We have to make sure that on this side on the back we have the export set. So this one is outputting, and this one also should have a pipe upgrade. Here we don't need any because it's just going to put in the items. However, we need the output on the back side. So here we have to sneak right click on each of the outputs to make sure that they are properly connected. And then on the back side here we can pull down the cable, let's say this height, and also from this one to this height, because we're going to place our last chest, which is going to be right here. And you can already see our items are getting inputted into this. I would recommend you to add a void upgrade to this one, and then going to void the sticks. So you're going to place one stick inside of this, and now you're setting this one to allow. For me, this was always really confusing with the void upgrade. How it works, it's allowing this thing to void this item. And now all the sticks should get destroyed from here. And now I'm connecting this to refined storage. You can pick whatever you want. You could also do this with like barrels, because we have a small variety of items, but a large volume. So barrels can be really useful, but you can also just use your refined storage or the storage from Applied Energistics. So from here, we're going to place our importer into our system, and it's going to put already our 3 items into this. However, if this setup is fully running, you definitely need some upgrades. So please put 3 speed upgrades and also a stack upgrade into the system. And now we are ready to give it a test run. So we're going to destroy our mega torch, which is our lever through the whole system. So if you break this, now we are going to have our enderman spawning at the bottom. Up here, we can also see the items kind of like getting shot out from the modular routers. The items first appear here, they're like so quickly gone again, and then they get split up into our Enchantment Extractor and also into our chest. And I'm just noticing we have a problem. Yeah. And that's what can quickly happen. You sometimes need to do some bug fixing. So if something like this happens, normally either you didn't set out the output, or you forgot, like I did here, to place a upgrade. So now this one can quickly pull out the items and the chests are empty instantly. Besides this one, as I said, you need way more salvages than this, like at least double the amount to make sure that this one is empty. And now we can have a look, and we have 150 godforged pearls, 58 netherite, some epic ones, some diamonds, and also we should have a good amount of experience. Yeah, as you can see, 150. So you could now do the highest level of reforging, and that's it. If you want to learn what you can create with your newly farmed rarity materials, check out my Salvaging Gear and Apotheosis weapon video on the bottom left. And if you want to see more guides and videos about Minecraft mod packs, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I wish you an amazing day.